Hey guys, it's Haps and the golden pack has arrived. Yes, the golden pack is here and I'm currently on the test server and I'm about to just check out all the new pets. Now I think this is my first test server video that I've ever created. Normally I wait for them to hit the live server before playing with them, but I've been so looking forward to seeing what new mechanics, what new pets and features there are that, to be honest, I couldn't wait. So I've jumped into the test server, which is completely free to access. Everybody can access it and have a look at these pets and play with these pets. And I'll link it down in the description below. And you'll notice at the bottom here, it says, we are still working on making it balanced. And that's because some of these pets may be completely OP and broken, but that's what we're here for, right? That's what the test server is. So let's check out some of these pets. I've been so waiting to do this, right? So let's have a look. Here it is, the golden pack. And it's going to cost me a whopping 0 snacks to check it out. So we'll pay for that and we'll check out the pack. I mean, look at this. This is so cool. Now, we've got the new pets, but we've also got new sprites for some of our old favorites, like Chocolate, for example. This is a completely new sprite, new image. But there is a function to be able to view the old image, and I can take you through that a little bit later on. But this is the new one, and then there's another example here, which is Bacon. But enough of the food. I'm more interested in these pets. So this is tier 1, and the first one is the Bulldog. Now the Bulldog is a 1/3, hurt, set attack equal to health +1. Okay, so if we can stack as much health on this Bulldog as possible, especially in the early game where other pets' attack is quite low, you could maybe get 2 or 3 decent hits away with the Bulldog. I'm guessing there's something that synergizes with this that gives it more health. I mean, I guess in custom pack, you could have broccoli and you can really boost its health and make its health insane. But I'm guessing there's something else here. So I really like it. I think that's a pretty cool mechanic. It's got a diminishing mechanic because every time you take a hit, your health is going to go down. So your attack is going to drop as well, which is kind of cool. It means it's less infinite, if that makes sense. Next one is the Chipmunk, which is a 3/2. You sell it and you replace the food in the shop with one free copy of the food with the held food. Okay, so if this had melon, you could just sell it and instantly put a melon in the shop. That's kind of cool. Well, I guess so yeah, at level 2 it does 2 free copies, and at level 3, 3 free copies. That's a bit of a mouthful, 3 free copies. So yeah, so scaling this up with a really useful food item like melon or something along those lines could be beneficial. How beneficial it's going to be in the early game, I don't really know. I guess you can throw some food on there because you know that later on you'll get the opportunity to put that food on something else. You know, that's actually quite useful. The number of times I play and I'm just looking at my team like none of these pets are going to be in the final team. But this garlic might be quite useful now and maybe useful later. Or putting this melon, I got a turtle, I need to pill this turtle. I don't really want to put melon on any of these pets. I'll throw it on the Chipmunk because I can sell the Chipmunk later and I can get that melon back. So yeah, I guess in custom, it could be really useful. Groundhog, 2/1. Start a battle, gain +1 trumpet. How good that is, I don't know. I mean, I've seen the trumpet mechanic. I saw it was introduced when they teased the 10 pets. How good trumpets are going to be, how fundamental they're going to be, I'm not sure. I guess they play a big part in this pack because you've got the golden retriever that gets summoned with the stats off of the trumpets. But I don't know. I mean, I guess it's just an early form of getting trumpets. Then we got the cone snail, a 1/2. Start of battle, give the nearest friend behind +2 health. Okay, there we go. So while I was talking about the Bulldog looking for something that synergizes, the cone snail is just going to give the added health to the Bulldog. So find cone snail and Bulldog early on, they could work quite well. Goose, a 2/10. Oh, okay, 2/10. So before attack, set the health to 2. That makes a little bit more sense. I saw 2/10 and I was like, tier 1, damn, that's gonna hurt. But before attack, it sets his health to 2, which makes a lot more sense. So I guess you're kind of looking for that to take hits, or maybe you can even switch the stat line off somehow with another pet. I don't know. I don't know what's in store, but 210's a great stat line if you can keep it. But if it goes down to 2/2, then I guess it's makes it a little bit weaker. Then you got the pied tamarind. So before feint, spend 1 trumpet to deal 2 damage to 1 random enemy. So the trumpets, any leftover trumpets that don't get used, give the stat line of the golden retriever that comes down after the 4th pet feints, I believe, and then is another pet on the team. So each one of those trumpets acts as a 1/1. So spending a trumpet to do 2 damage, I guess, is just a better use of that trumpet. So the pied tamarind alongside our groundhog here could work quite well early on. The opossum is a 2/3. Sell, give 1 random shot pet with a feint ability, 1 attack and 1 health. Okay, so if it's assuming there's enough feint ability pets in the shop, makes sense that if you're going to run a feint build, you could use the opossum to scale up the shop. It's sort of like a mouse, maybe, because you can buy and sell a mouse and you get an apple, and then that gives you a 1/1. But you can actually put that apple on whichever pet you want though, and it doesn't have to be in the shop. So I guess it's kind of similar. Then we've got the silk moth, which is a 2/2. Friend ahead, hurt, give it +1 health, works 3 times. Okay, so we've got this makes a lot of sense now. So you can run your cone snail with your bulldog behind, because it's getting extra health from the cone snail, and then behind the bulldog you can put your silk moth, which will give additional health to the bulldog. So then you've got a nice little combo between those 3. That makes sense. I like that. I like that your tier 1s will synergize together. And then we got the magpie. So the magpies are 1/4. End of turn, spend up to 1 gold and gain it on next turn. Spend up to 1 gold. Well, so you spend 1 gold. Oh no, so spend up to 1. Oh, so maybe you leave 1 gold. That would make more sense. Otherwise, spending just 1 gold, you're going to do that anyway. So it seems silly not to have a magpie if you're getting that gold back for free. I guess it's if you leave 1 gold and you roll it over, then you get it next turn. That makes sense. And then we've got 2 foods here. The bacon we already know about. And then we've got the blueberry. The legendary blueberry that's been in the game in the past. You give 1 pet blueberry, prioritize this for enemy random abilities. Okay, so that would be good on the goose, because if the random ability is a sniping ability of some kind, then you could focus the snipes onto the goose. That makes sense. Okay, tier 2. So the Hercules beetle is a 1/2, and if you sell it, you give 1 random friend +1 attack for each battle this has fought. I really like that mechanic. So basically, the longer the Hercules beetle's in your team, the greater its usage is, because you then sell it and it will give more attack stats to any 1 random friend. That'd be good to synergize with Rooster, if you were able to funnel it onto the Rooster somehow. Okay, I really like that. I like that the longer you keep that pet in. I mean, it's a 1/2. It's not great in terms of stat line, but it's a cool ability. Then we've got the Stoat, which is a 2/2, and you sell that and you summon 1 level 1 pet from your current tier as a 1/1. Okay, so I mean, if you want any of the other pets in the tier, or maybe you're looking to level something up and you want to spend 2 gold as opposed to rolling and hoping to find it and playing that lottery card, then maybe that makes sense. Maybe there's some buy-sell element in here, I don't know, which that would be good. It's kind of like sort of like a loyal chinchilla, but you don't obviously get the chinchilla or the loyal chinchilla back. You get another one of the pets in that tier. We'll see how that, I mean, it's got the same stat line as the chinchilla as well. Black-necked stilt. So level 1, it will feint, gain 2 trumpets. Okay, so it's another way to generate trumpets. We don't know how good they are. I think I'm going to have to play the game to really find out that. Then you got the squid, which is a 3/2. Before feint, spend 1 trumpet to give 1 random enemy ink. Give 1 random enemy ink. What is ink? What does ink do? Never heard of ink. I don't know what ink does. Maybe it reduces the opposing player's stat line. Maybe it weakens the attack stats or the health stats. I don't know. Honestly, don't know. Maybe it reduces the attack, because you've got weakness, which increases the damage that you deal. So maybe you've got something that reduces the attack of the opposing pets. Honestly, who knows? We'll find out at another point. Sea urchin, 4-2. Level 1, faint, reduce the closest enemy by 3 health. So it's like a mini badger. So when it faints, it just does... Oh, it doesn't deal damage. It reduces the closest enemy. Well, so you can... Do you reckon we can get the opposing pets to negative health? Because if it's got 1 health, then does it go to -2? I don't know. I guess we're going to have to play with that to find out. I'm going to call it a mini badger for now, and we'll see how that one plays out. Doorhead ant, 2-4, clear front. Push this to the front and gain +2 health. So it's like a little bodyguard. It will protect something behind it. So your first pet faints. This was one of the ones that they released early. So the first pet faints, and then the doorhead ant then comes to the front, and then either hopefully finishes off the pet that took out the first pet, but it also would allow for whatever pet's in second spot to trigger twice if it's a pet that triggers off of the pet in front attacking. So the only one that's immediately coming to mind would be like the snake. So if you had a pet in front, that pet attacks, faints, snake triggers, the doorhead ant comes to the front and does the same, and then the snake triggers again. So that would work quite well with this. Obviously we don't have the snake in this pack, but that works quite well. So maybe there's something else that triggers off of the pet in front attacking. The lizard. So 1-3, level 1 hurt, summon 1/2/1 lizard tail. Okay, so we've got buses in the game, we've got pets in the game. Now we've just got appendages in the game. We've got tails in the game. I mean, I don't know. This game's gone crazy. But a lizard tail, I guess this is just like a mini saber-tooth tiger, because unlike the saber-tooth who just spawns tier 1 pets, this is just going to spawn a lizard tail. We could also do challenges with this actually. Imagine getting a level 3 50/50 lizard tail, or just a team of lizard tails. I'm already picturing it. Okay, so the sea turtle. Friend summoned. If in battle, give it +3 health. Okay, I mean, extra health is always good. It's not quite, obviously it's just like a mini version of a turkey. So like it doesn't give you the attack stats, but the extra health could be quite useful. I wonder if there's another one that gives attack, or you can add, I mean, this is in battle, so I'm guessing it's a temporary stat as opposed to a permanent stat, which is why you can probably have it as a tier 2. We'll see how that one works out. Then you got the gazelle, which is a 2/4. Start of turn, if you have 11 gold, gain 2 attack and 2 health until the end of battle. Okay, so that synergizes with our magpie, because with our magpie we can carry a gold over, assuming we do it correctly, and then the gazelle will then scale off of spending all of that gold next turn. It's kind of cool. It's again, it says here until end of battle, so maybe that's a temporary stat. So yeah, if that's a temporary stat, then it'll be really good early game, because imagine getting this to level 2 and it being a 4/4 on top of a 2/4, so you're getting a 6/8. You could have a 6/8 by turn 5. That's pretty strong, and you wouldn't have had to have applied many additional stats to it to get it there. So yeah, that could be good early game. I'm not so sure how that racks up late game, but again, until we try it, I guess we don't really know. And okay, we've got another penguin. Let's go. We've got another penguin in the pack. Come on, the African penguin, a 3/3. Buy, give 1 random friend +2 attack and +1 health. Okay, so it's basically just an upgraded otter. That's what it is. It's an upgraded otter. It's got a better stat line than the 1/2. It's a 3/3, and it gives 1 additional attack. I like it. I mean, it's a penguin. I kind of gotta like it, right? But yeah, no, I think that's kind of cool. And then we go on to the egg. So, deal 2 damage before attacking once. Okay, so it's like a mini snipe. It's like having a blowfish snipe before you attack. I mean, it could be kind of useful, especially early on. If anything's got like low health, you could be wiping it out with an egg before you even attack. So yeah, that's kind of cool. It's a bit like the woodpecker, for example. Then we got the cherry. So give one pet cherry. Gain one trumpet extra whenever this gains any trumpets. Makes sense. Put that on top of our groundhog and we'll be gaining 2 trumpets as opposed to 1. In the early game, maybe that's a good way to scale trumpets. I honestly don't know, but could be quite useful. Tier 3, the Muskox. 3/4, friend ahead faints, gain +2 attack and 2 health. I mean, that seems pretty good. That seems very good. That seems very good. Like, it's just a better ox, right? You don't get the melon, which is fair enough. You don't get the melon, but you get a better stat line and you get better stats. And if you put like the lizard in front, then you're just going to get double triggers. So you just get like a 4/4. I think that's really strong. Then we've got the flea. Now, I think the flea was another one of those that was released early. So it's a 1/1. It's very strong. Start of battle, make the most healthy enemy weak. Okay, so yeah, the stat line of 1/1 reflects just how ridiculously strong its ability is. Because unlike the bat, which is completely random where the weakness goes, this targets the most healthy enemy, which is, how many times have you been playing it and the bat weakness hits the weakest enemy that any one of your pets could take out? Countless. Whereas this, at least this will just land on the most healthy. I like it. I mean, that could be ridiculous. We don't know. I think it's going to be very strong. I think that's going to be very strong. Royal Flycatcher. It's a 2/3. Enemy summoned, deal 2 damage to it and gain +1 attack and 1 health. Gain 2 damage and gain +1. Okay, so it's just a better iguana, right? It's just a better version because you gain stat line and you do, is it the same damage or you do more damage, I think. Okay, so that's a nice summon counter right there. Yeah, that could be really good because what's that? So at level 2, it does 4 damage. How many summons are have higher health than that? I mean, the lizard tail doesn't. I mean, you're taking out the level 3 lizard tail there. This could be really good. Could be a really good summon counter. Surgeon Fish. It's a 3/3, and before attack, spend 2 trumpets to give the nearest friend behind +3 attack and +3 health. Again, it's just a more efficient use of those trumpets, giving more stat line than what the golden retriever would get. You are, however, using a place in the team to do that. That's the trade-off, I guess. So yeah, that could be good. I mean, if you're building a trumpet team, you probably bring the Surgeon Fish in for a little bit of extra attack. And I'll tell you what, anyone who's seen Finding Nemo, right? We've got a Finding Nemo team forming here. Because we've got the clownfish, now we've got the surgeon fish, we've got turtle, we've got a shark, we've got seagull. We could pretty much do a Nemo team. Anyway, enough about challenges. Let's go back to these pets. And we're on to the weasel. So the weasel is a 3/4. Faint, gain 1 gold on next turn. Pretty self-explanatory, I'd say. And again, that will just go nicely if you've got a gazelle in the team. You could probably get rid of the magpie at this point and run on the weasel. So it makes sense. It's like a swan. It's like a swan, but just 1 tier higher. But you need it to faint though. That's the key, because if you have it at the back and it doesn't faint, then unlike the swan, you won't get any gold. So you want that to be at the front, I would say. You need this to faint every time. The guinea fowl is a 2/5, hurt, gain 2 trumpets. Okay, so I mean, if you can stack that with stats as much as you can, maybe partnering it up with where the bulldog was. So between the cone snail and the silk moth, if we can get this taking multiple hits, we're going to stack up our trumpets much quicker. Again, it's going to be all focused around trumpet team. There's a lot of trumpet pets, so obviously you can't run them all at once. There's going to be ways in which to pivot up. I think this could be a good sort of early to mid-game pivot for the trumpet generation. The better fish. It's a 2/3. So before faint, give the nearest friend behind +3 attack and +3 health. I mean, that's pretty good. It's it's like an ant, isn't it? It's just a better ant. It's called the better fish. It's just a better ant. The meerkat. It's a 2/1. Spend 12 gold give one random friend +1 attack and +2 health. Okay, I mean, if you're running the Weasel level 2, you might as well run a Meerkat as well, because you're going to spend 12 gold and then you're going to get an additional 1-2 health on a friend. What I'm starting to see here is the Magpie, the Weasel, the Meerkat. Like, gold is becoming more of a mechanic that you can build a team around. Like, we've had the Swan in the past, and you know, we've had a Sauropod, you've had the Goat, but you don't really use them all collectively as one. But it does feel like, I mean, I don't know, the rest of the pets might have nothing to do with gold, and I might be just going down the wrong path here, but I do feel like there's some sort of economy build being formed from these pets. The Flying Fish, it's a 3/3, friend summoned, give it a +1 attack and +1 health. Okay, I mean, that's pretty good. Have a couple of those in your team. It's just like an early lobster or a turkey. I think you bring a couple of those in the team, or if you find a few, you can bring in pets and they're just going to have greater stat line. I quite like that. I think the Flying Fish is going to be good. The Baboon, I think this was another one that was released, and that's a 2/3. End turn, give one random friend from the current shop tier a +2 attack and a +1 health. So give one random friend from the current shop tier. So you get, let's say you pick it up on turn 5, then any one of these pets will gain an additional stat of +2 and +1. It seems pretty good. I mean, you obviously have to make sure you've got the right pets in the team for it to trigger. That could be a mistake. That could be like running Giraffe at the front, or running level 2 Giraffe in slot 2 would be running Baboon with no pets in the tier that you're in. But yeah, again, another way to scale your team. So we'll certainly have a look at that a little bit later on. And then the Emu is a 4/3. And friend faints, push the nearest friend ahead to the front, works 1 time per battle. Okay, this is similar to the Dorant, but rather than sending the Dorant forward, you're sending another pet forward. So again, it's just going to work off, like if we go back to the snake scenario there, you're just pushing more pets in front of the snake. Actually, wait. Imagine running like Octopus, Tiger, then say Octopus, Emu. So the Octopus triggers twice off of a Tiger, then faints. The Emu then triggers and sends the other Octopus back to the front, so then you get more triggers off of the Octopus. Obviously the Octopus is not in this pack, but just using pets that we already know, that would be really cool. Also, you need the Tiger as well. So this is more relevant to custom pack, but I really like this idea that you now control your movements in your team as opposed to controlling using Donkey and the Seahorse. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how we can use that with the rest of these pets. Potato. Ignore damage from non-attacks once. Okay, I mean, that's kind of cool. I think that's just a little bit of protection, isn't it? I'm assuming that's protecting against snipes. Then we've got the Lettuce. Give 3 pets from the current tier +1 attack and +1 health. Okay, I mean, it's a very cheap sushi if you've got all the pets in that current tier. So that's one way of looking at it. It could be an early sushi. The Avocado, gain 2 gold on next turn. Okay, so you're spending 3 gold now to gain 2 next turn, which in itself sounds a bit strange, but I guess if you're at a tier break and you want to have more gold going into, say, turn 7, where you're looking for higher tier pets, or which one was it now? This one, or it's the Meerkat. You've got a Meerkat in your team and you need the extra gold to get the extra stats. That makes sense. Okay, so tier 4, the Cuttlefish, 7/3. Before faint, give the closest enemy ink. And we're back to ink again. Who knows what ink is? So the Squid and the Cuttlefish are dishing out ink. We don't know what it is. We'll find out. We'll have to do some runs and see. I'm guessing it's to do with some reduction of a stat line, but I'm not really sure. The Egyptian Vulture is a 5/4. Knockout. Activate the faint ability of the nearest friend behind as level 1. Whoa. That's insane, actually. So things like the Better Fish, before faint. I guess that's a feint ability. Give the nearest friend behind +3/+3. So you could literally put this in front of this. And as long as this is tanky enough, this will just keep spawning stats. Oh, I like that. I mean, there's a load of other feint abilities actually. This is the one that I just immediately remembered because it's only a few pets behind. Okay, so that's kind of cool. The Sega, I'm assuming I'm pronouncing this, but the Sega Antelope is a 4/3. Friend feints gain 1 trumpet. Okay, so again, if you have a summon build, so like if we stack this up with a load of lizards, you're going to get more friends fainting, so it's just generating more trumpets. Is that the most efficient way to generate trumpets? Who knows? We'll find out, but it seems pretty good. The Sea Lion. It's a 2/5, end turn, give +1 attack to friends behind and +1 health to friends ahead. So it really does depend on where you've got it positioned in your team. So if you've got it positioned at the very front, you're going to give attack stats to all the pets behind. If you put it at the back, you give health stats to all the pets in front. So if you just rotate it backwards and forwards, as long as you've got a team that doesn't really matter about where they're positioned, one turn have this at the back, one turn have this at the front. Over 2 turns, you're going to give 4 pets 1/1. So essentially each turn that's 2 pets 1/1. So it's like having a penguin. It's like having a penguin, but you need to rotate it backwards and forwards. I mean, it's quite an interesting mechanic. I kind of like that. Depending on where it is, depends on what it does. That's cool. Vaquita is a 3/4 feint, gain +50% trumpets. Okay, I mean that seems kind of broken. So you put that in slot 4 because that's at that point the golden retriever comes down. So you put that in slot 4 and I don't know, you have it level 2 and you'll just double your trumpets. Wait, hold on. Put it behind the vulture and that triggers. No way. And that just so you could just literally have the vulture, then the vaquita, and you could just be multiplying your trumpets as long as the vultures, the Egyptian vultures, like stacked and it can take a few hits. Then this is just gonna generate trumpets for you. That's quite cool. I'm sure that's gonna be a combo that gets used. Then we got the slug, which is a 4/4. I mean, let's just admire the picture of the slug. Love it. Okay, so feint, summon 1 2/2 smaller slug that summons 1/1 smallest slug. It's like a Russian doll. So if it feints, it summons a 2/2 slug. If that feints, it summons a 1/1 slug. So it's perfect for summon builds, right? It's perfect for anything that involves having a pet in front for triggers. Anything that involves stat line around giving stats off of pets fainting, which we had somewhere. I can't remember where that was now. It's somewhere around here. There we go. So friend faints, you get extra trumpets. So yeah, so the slug would be good. Now I know about the poison dart frog, and this actually synergizes really well with the slug because this was another one of the pets that they released. So the poison dart frog is a 1/1. There's a reason why it's a 1/1. And that's because if a friend ahead faints, you deal 4 damage to the highest health enemy. So this, combined with the slug, combined with either emu or the doorhead ant, you could have so many triggers off of this. What's that like? You get 3 triggers off of the slug, and then the doorhead ant comes in for a 4th trigger. That seems crazy. And also, you could combine these two, right? So I'm guessing if the doorhead ant attack was higher than the emu, this one would then fill the space. And then when this one faints, maybe the emu triggers. It says it works 1 time per turn, so maybe it will cancel out because the doorhead ant goes first. I don't know how the ordering is going to happen there, but you could get 5 or 6 triggers ahead of the dart frog. And then each time it's going to do 4 damage. That could be insane. Secretary bird is a 3/2. So 3 friends faint, give the nearest friend behind 4 attack and 4 health. Okay, so it's like a Spinosaurus, but you give the pet behind, and it involves multiple, like three pets fainting or 3 friends fainting. Again, that will work well. Imagine a team of slugs. You get a team of slugs, and each slug is essentially 3 triggers, which is exactly what this needs. So you have 3 slugs, this, and then a tanky unit at the back. You're going to get, what's this going to do? It's going to do +12/+12 to the pet behind. That could be something. I don't know. I'm just kind of theorizing right now with all these pets that we've seen. Okay, the Falcon. It's a 4/4 knockout. Summon 1/3/3 level 1 copy of the knocked out pet. I mean, that's just going to be really situational, isn't it? Like, who knows what pet you're going to summon. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like you're summoning anything super strong unless you can increase that stat line of the summoned pets by having maybe even some flycatchers in there. So like if you have a flycatcher, then if you summon a 3/3, then it will be a 4/4. But who knows what pet it might be. It might be something terrible from the opposing team, or it could be something good. Interesting. I mean, it's certainly worth looking into. And then they got the Manta Ray, which is a 5/4. So start of turn, if there's an empty space, gain 2 gold. Oh, this would be so cool with llamas. If you're running a llama team, you obviously have to have a space. So get this as a level 3. You just get 6 gold. That, I mean, obviously you have to run with a spare space, and can you afford to run with a spare space? There's your compromise. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know how many times you're going to run it in this pack, but it might be cool to team up with the llama. Then we got the oyster. That's a very cute picture. A very cute picture of a pearl in a shell. The oyster's a 2/7, and you sell it, you gain 3 gold. What? Wait, so if you buy it and then you sell it, you're gaining a gold. So every time you see oyster, you have to just buy sell. Would you ever get it? Would you ever? Because like you. Hopefully I'm getting this right. So you buy it, it costs you 3. You sell it, will be the 1 that you normally get plus the 3. So yeah, you sell it for 4. You gain 1 gold. Why would you ever take it to level 2 and level 3? It's going to cost you 9 gold to get it to level 3, and you sell it for 8 gold. I don't know how that's going to work. I think this is, maybe I'm missing something here, but I would just buy sell this. I mean, the stat line's great. Like a 2/7, that's pretty good. So maybe you do hold it for a little bit, but when you sell it, it's just basically you get 1 gold for it. Chocolate cake. Gain 3 experience on the start of battle and faint at the start of turn. Oh, okay. Well, there's one way of knocking out a pet. This is going to be like a all or nothing. Send the pet out there with like, I don't know, maybe you need just to generate loads of trumpets at the end. You can throw this on something that generates loads of trumpets, get it to level 2, and then it doesn't matter if you win or lose because it's the final round. Interesting. I guess you could look at this as kind of like a pill. I don't know. Then you got the banana. Give 1 pet banana, summon a 4/4 monkey on faint. Summon a 4/4 monkey? What? So you have monkey in this pack then? Because you could... Oh, no, you can't, because you can't pill the monkey. Okay, so there's no pill in the pack, and if you add the chocolate, then I'm guessing the chocolate would overwrite the banana? Or can you use chocolate to feint the banana pet into a monkey? I don't know. Again, these are things maybe I'm getting this completely wrong. But giving a pet banana and summoning a monkey seems pretty good if you've got pill, because you could get monkey now on turn 4. Then you can get monkey on turn 4 like by leveling into it, but this would just be another way. That's kind of cool. Then you've got the waffle. So activate buy ability. Activate buy ability. That seems pretty good. I mean, we had some buy abilities somewhere back here. Let's see. Off the top of my head, I can't actually remember. Okay, I'm not actually seeing a huge amount of buy abilities, but I'm sure there's some coming up. I must have missed one. That's a sell ability. Okay, we'll keep this one in mind. Tier 5. And Nyala is a 2/3, and at start of battle, you gain... Oh, here we go. So you gain 6 trumpets. The trumpet generation's now really scaling up. I mean, if you go in trumpet build, this seems like a given. This seems like you throw this in there straight away. Again, how good trumpet builds are going to be, I don't know. Nurse Shark is a 4/6. Feint, spend all trumpets to deal it as double damage to one random enemy. Double damage. Oh my. That is insane. These two combined, that is insane. So immediately, right, so you gain 6 trumpets there, and when this feints, it will just do at least 12 damage to any random pet. Just combining these. That's not without any other trumpet generation. And you can get this one to level 3. You're going to do it to 3 random enemies. That just seems crazy. This seems really fun. Because if you had, for example, if you had your trumpet generation up to 25, this feints, it will deal 50 damage to 3 random enemies. Just going to wipe out the whole team. That's got to be broken. That just seems broken. That doesn't. Surely that's not going to continue to exist. White whale 3/8 eats shot food. Swallow the leftmost shot pet and release it as a level 1 after fainting. I mean, that sounds kind of fun. I like the play on keeping the whale abilities very similar. How useful that's going to be, I don't know. I mean, I guess you can swallow any kind of pet. If there's a pet that you like in the shop, then yeah, could be useful getting it into the battle. And maybe it'll have to be part of a summon team, right? Maybe you swallow a slug that's left in your shop, and then when this faints, then the slug is spawned, and then that faints, and then the smaller slug, and then that faints, and then the smaller slug. So that will be good in front of the dart frog, for example. The wolf, which is a 4/4 faint, summon 3 level 1 pigs. I mean, I love the theme there. You get a wolf and it summons 3 pigs. I like that. That's very good. I mean, that just seems, again, just like you have to have the space in your team. Just like a level 3 rooster. Positioning is going to be important for that one, but seems like a really good way to summon multiple pets. Silver fox is a 4/7, and after attack, gain 1 gold on next turn. Works 3 times per battle. Okay, you basically just want to layer this with stats, I should imagine, and try and tank 1 or 2 hits to try and carry some gold over. It's another one of these like economy building pets. I quite like it. I like the utility. Whether you're going to pick it up over some of these, I'm not so sure. I guess it depends on what your options are at the time. But it seems like a way to get some gold. Blue ringed octopus is a 5/3. Buy. Okay, so this is a buy. So you could use the waffle on the blue ringed octopus. Give all friends +1 attack, +1 health. Okay, I mean, yeah, you definitely would use the waffle on the... That's just... Waffle plus the blue ringed octopus is better sushi. Funny enough, octopus, I guess octopus is sushi, so that kind of synergizes. But yeah, you add the waffle here, and it's just going to give... If you've got 5 pets in the team, it's just going to give more stats than a sushi is going to give. These two seem really good. I really like this pet, actually. I think that could be really good. If you buy that and you just keep stacking it with further buys, and then you find waffles and you keep buying the waffles, that's going to be a really good way to scale. Fire ant. It's a 6/4 faint. Give attack to 1 random friend. I mean, 6 attack is nothing to be sniffed at. How useful that's going to be, I don't know. But it's just, it's playing on the same ability that the ant does, but just obviously a different stat line that's being passed on. I like the fact that they're following the themes on with some of these pets, sort of like the whale, sort of like the ants here. I don't know about this one though. I'm not so sure. I guess you can have this in front of the vulture, and it activates the faint ability, so you can be putting 6 attack onto multiple pets as long as the vulture stays alive. And starts knocking out opponents. Like this against a summon team could make this really pop off. But I think I prefer some of the other pets to this one. But we'll see how it plays out. And then we've got the macaque. The macaque is a 6/4. End turn, gain +1 attack and +1 health for each friend that can gain gold. So again, it's there it is. I mean, I feel like we've completed the set here. So the silver fox plus the macaque plus a couple of the other gold generating pets. You've got a full team here. You've got a scaler in there. You've got something to generate more gold. You're going to be then buying the food. Could be an economy build in there somewhere. So yeah, so I think if you're running an economy build, or if you're running these two together, that makes sense. The Cockatoo, it's a 4/2. Give 3 random friends with a feint ability, +2 attack and +1 health. I mean, it's the same thing again. Like if you're running this, the Cockatoo, like the ringed octopus, if you're running the Cockatoo with a feint team, you can then just waffle it. You could just keep adding waffles to this buy ability, and you can just increase the stats of your feint ability team. You want to make sure that you make full advantage of it though, so you want to try and have 3 random pets in your team that all have feint abilities. But again, if you're running a feint team, I think this works really well with the waffle. Crane is a 9/2, which is pretty decent attack. Friend ahead hurt, give it melon and +5 attack. Wow, that's kind of good. I mean, melon's not in the pack other than that, so I like that. But it works 2 times. Oh, okay. So you kind of like, it's sort of synthetically creating the reindeer, because you give the friend melon in front. If it then gets hit and it gets hurt, another melon goes on it if you've got this level 2 and level 3. Okay, so that could be really good for like sustaining a frontline pet that comes up against maybe another strong team. I don't know how this pack is, like the meta of this pack is going to be. It's probably going to revolve around trumpets, because this seems completely broken. But yeah, we'll see how that one pans out. But giving melon seems really good. I mean, I think that's going to be a useful pet. Then we've got the chocolate, the trusty chocolate. We all know about the chocolate. Then we've got the eggplant. So you give 1 pet +3 attack, +3 health. That seems pretty self-explanatory. Some good stats. And then the onion, move. I'm guessing that's supposed to say 1 space. Move 1 space back when this is at the front. Once. I might be missing something here, but I'm not really sure how this is used. Move 1 space back when this is at the front. Why would you want to move 1 space back? Why would you choose to move 1 space back? I mean, you could put it on the sea lion. You want it to distribute its stats by being at the front, and then you don't want it to be the front pet? I'm not so sure. I'm not sure how this would be used. I think I'm missing something here. Then we get the wildebeest. Is that how you spell wildebeest? I don't know, but it's an 8/6. Before attack, spend 8 trumpets to gain coconut. I mean, that's kind of cool. So yeah, before attack, spend 8 trumpets to gain coconut. That's pretty self-explanatory. I think that would be, as long as you've got good coconut generation, and the stat line of this is decent enough. So at the moment at 8/6, kind of makes sense, because 8 trumpets is +8/+8 for the golden retriever. So if you're going to add coconut, you're basically getting +8/+6 on the wildebeest, and you're hopefully going to scale up the wildebeest. So yeah, that seems like a good use of trumpets, and a good frontline. Well, actually, can it be frontline? Because you need to make sure you get the trumpets, and you may need to have pets in front of it. But yeah, either way, I think that could be pretty strong. The Highland Cow, this one was another one that got dropped early, so that we've seen it. 412 though. I mean, that stat line is insane. Start of battle, gain 1 trumpet for each 2 health that this has. So immediately you're gaining 6 trumpets. If you just stack health on this, the trumpet, this plus this. So the Highland Cow plus the Vaquita plus the Vulture. Oh, the trumpet. How high can trumpets go? How high can you get your trumpets? Like, I'm guessing the Golden Retriever will cap out at 50-50. But that combination there, that I think that triangle, I don't think you would need much else. I think you would just need to stack ability, like stack stats onto the Egyptian Vulture and onto the Highland Cow, and then you're gonna be generating quite a lot of trumpets. The Pteranodon is an 8/4. Friend faints. If it had a feint ability, activate it again. Like, you could do it with the Vaquita again. So just all of these. I mean, obviously you're looking for 2 tier 6s here, and then you need 2 tier 4s. So we're talking late game, but yeah, I mean that seems pretty good. Having the opportunity for a feint ability to activate again and work 2 times or 3 times per turn. There's a lot of feint abilities in this pack by the looks of it. So I think that this will partner up quite well with those. The catfish, start of turn, activate buy ability on the nearest friend behind. Okay, there we have it. So we got the blue ringed octopus, which we're just going to waffle for stats, and then we're also going to put the catfish, and we're going to combo it with the catfish. Love it. That combo there, and also the cockatoo as well. Similar approach, but you need to have feint pet ability, like feint abilities in the rest of the team, because you're already using 2 slots for these. But these two here, these two synergize really well. Cobra, it's a 10-4, friend ahead attacks. Okay, so this is very similar to this. Again, they're just kind of following the abilities across from the other pack and just changing them slightly, which I really like. Friend ahead attacks deal 10% attack damage to 2 random enemies. So it hits 2 enemies as opposed to 1, which the normal snake does. But it has a lower ceiling. So 100% of its, so 30% of its attack when it gets to a 50-50 is just not going to be the same as of the 15 I think a snake can get to. So yeah, so oh actually no, that is 15, isn't it? 30% of 50. Yeah, 30% of 50 I think is 15. So it can cap out at the same ceiling. So it pretty much is just a snake. It is just a snake, but you need to generate a attack stat on it as opposed to leveling it up, and you have to level it up. Okay, so it's probably slightly worse than the main snake. Then we got the grizzly bear. So the grizzly bear is a 6/6, 2 friends summoned, deals 6 damage to 2 random enemies. Okay, I mean that just seems insane as well. How many summons have we got? Like we've already got the slug who summons like 1,000,000 times. So like a whole team of slugs with a grizzly bear that is a level 3. Like you get 3 triggers off of the slug. Wow. Okay, so I mean this seems crazy. Grizzly bear with some slugs. And even the wolf as well, because that's 4 triggers. So if you had the wolf in the 3rd slot at least, or further back, then you get 4 triggers from the wolf with the grizzly bear. These three here seem to be pretty good. The bird of paradise is a 3/3. This is another one of the pets that got released. Spend 7 gold and give all friends 1/1 attack. You're gonna spend 7 gold, aren't you? So I mean that seems pretty good. It seems, again, it's another one that would fall into this like economy based builds. But getting additional stats by spending 7 gold on other stuff seems like a good asset to have. Then we got the warthog. It's a 6/7. Feint, give 1 random friend +1 attack and +1 health. Triggers for each 2 attack that this has. Wait. Feint, give 1 random friend +1 attack +1 health. Triggers for each 2 attack this has. So it can trigger 25 times. That seems bonkers. If you get it to a 50-50, mind. I'm thinking top line here. So is it like it's kind of like a mammoth almost, but it's triggering to it's just triggering to 1 friend, but it can trigger multiple times. How's that gonna look? Like how does that triggering 10 times look? Or does it just send the stats all in one? I don't know. And then finally we've got the German Shepherd, which is an 8/5. Friend summoned, give it 20% of this attack. Okay, so it's another, this kind of like is the opposite of all the way back here, the turtle, which gives health to friends that are summoned, but this gives the attack. But it's scaling off of a percentage of the attack that the German Shepherd has. So again, yeah, like, I mean, this could be incredible partnered up with the slug. If you might be spawning the smallest slug there is, the smallest of the smallest, and it's a 1/1, but it might actually spawn as, well, more like what would that be? Like a 30, you'd add 30 attack to a 1/1, so it'd be a 31/1 if it was a 50/50, if I've got my calculations right there. So yeah, that could be quite good with summons. There seems like there's a couple of good summon synergies, definitely some trumpet synergies in there, and a few faint synergies. Some pets I'm not quite sure on. I'm not so sure like how often they would be used, and like obviously a lot of the tier 1 pets, they would get dropped as you pivot away. But I really like the look of the nurse shark. I won't lie, that seems a little bit dangerous with trumpets, and I think that would be one of the things I want to try first, because I'm a sucker for a sniper build, and that just seems like the ultimate sniper build out of this set. The last 3 foods that we've got here then are the pita bread. Take less damage equal to this attack once. Okay, so it's a 50/50. It's basically acting as a coconut, right? Because it takes no damage unless something is attacking for more than 50, which I guess you can in other packs, but I don't think you can here. Then you've got the pretzel. So give 1 pet plus 1 attack and 1 health multiplied by the lowest tier on your team. Okay, so I mean that could be insane if you're building a team out of tier 5s and tier 6s. Tomato, deal 10 damage to 1 random enemy before attacking. I want this on my team. I want the tomato on all my pets that aren't snipers. That's just turning everything into just a crocodile, but it's hitting a random enemy as opposed to the back enemy. I love it. I think I really like the tomato as a food. But there we have it. There's like a roundup and just my raw just ideas and thoughts immediately as I'm kind of reading through. I've seen a couple of these pets before because as I said before, like 10 of them were released early, but a lot of these I've not seen, and for the first time I'm kind of just giving you what I think is going to work, what I think is not going to work. I could be completely wrong, and I'm really looking forward to just trying some of these out. That will have to come in another video because this has already gone on long enough. I think we've gone on for nearly an hour now. So what I'll do is I'll end it now and I'll do some runs and I'll post them up and we'll see how we get on. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching if you've made it all the way to the end, and I'll catch you in the next one.